Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. It is officially 2 o'clock and it is Toolbox Tuesday. I am so excited to be able to have some of you with me, and there's service coordinators that are coming in, some of who I can see, some of who I cannot see. And I am so excited. There's some of you on 2 different platforms on YouTube. So hopefully it's coming through and it makes sense. I am excited to be able to do Toolbox Tuesday with everyone. I am Queen, and for many of the service coordinators, I affectionately am known as the service coordinator. And there's a chat from, oh, thank you, it's a smiley face. So I'm excited. To Toolbox Tuesday has been, I would probably say, a dream for a while. I considered launching it about 5 years ago and thought it would be a place where service coordinators could come together and at least once a week could just connect and ask questions and get clarity about certain things. There are times that service coordinators will be doing things in our respective communities, and we just want to get some clarity about it and not always sure where to go. So the Toolbox Tuesday would be that time that at 2 o'clock for a few minutes, if you had a quick question, that you could come on, and if questions are submitted beforehand, I would answer them, like I got one this morning, and so I'll address that. And just a chance for us to come together to be able to share resources, and it would be recorded so that you can come back later and you can look at it and you won't have to quickly try to scribe notes. It's going to be an opportunity for us to celebrate each other, some best practices that service coordinators are utilizing it in their communities, some creative ways that we can connect with our residents, what's working, but more than anything, a place for resources for us to be able to come together and again, ask questions and get answers. And if you give me the questions, then I'll definitely be able to share those with you, the answers to it. And it will occur every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Hopefully no more. I was trying to play with the numbers, so I thought no more than about 22 minutes. So, Toolbox Tuesday at 2 for no more than about 22 minutes. And if that, but again, an opportunity for service coordinators to come together. I did get a question this morning, and it was in regards to training. And I actually laughed and thought, another training question, because I got one last week about training too last week. So able to give you some clarification regarding the training that the service coordinators are there's the required and expected to be able to have completed by December 31st of 2021. So we know that with the onset of the global health crisis, that started at the end of 19, but really was in full bloom in 20, went through all of 20, and we are in a different phase, but still nonetheless a part of this global health crisis, that it affected the learning, at least the learning opportunities or the educational opportunities for service coordinators. And so some service coordinators were able to do something that was on-site training at some places. Most of it was virtual, considered to be asynchronous, meaning we were away from a place, but able to kind of go back and forth. And then synchronous, some of the training was that we were actually able to be either on-site or able to really have communication with the providers. So some of it was archived and some of it was not. And service coordinators were asking the questions, what do we do in regards to the trainings? How do we get caught up? Well, in regards to what is the expectation for us and training, HUD is not delineated from the expectation that service coordinators will get the training requirements or meet them. There was some flexibility in regards to how we get the training. So yes, you can watch an archived program on YouTube, or in some universities posted. You can be able to go to an archive program that may not just be YouTube, but on another company's website. And or you might be able to have found something from another organization that might have an archived class, or you can attend one of the webinars that or workshops locally in your area or something be also virtually. However, we know that for many, the conference season has started dwindled, and there's still service coordinators that want classes or need classes. So in that case, you are able to take those workshops online. You can take them as some that have been archived. And the way that you're able to get some credit for taking that type of course is, say, for instance, you locate a course. And that course is one that was, I would say, on average, you want it to at least be about 45 minutes to an hour, so that you can truly get the credit as a learning environment. You locate this course online. The easiest that I found was searching with one of the service coordinators last week was on YouTube. We literally put in a workshop, and then we did mental health and aging. So if I can, I'm going to grab my service coordinator binder so I can make this as real time with you as I can, and kind of give you an idea of exactly what we did. And I'm even going to see if I can share my screen so that you can even see how we were able to be successful with finding that information. So I'm going to go into YouTube if I can. So I'm not looking at you right now, only because I'm going to try to set it up to be able to look for the courses and see if it'll allow me to share my screen. And so I'm back with you. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go to the YouTube to see if it'll allow me to share and stream at the same time. And in the search area, we typed in workshop, and the one that she was looking for was disability services. We didn't enter the words non-elder, but we just looked up disability services, and we looked up workshops. The first thing, and so one of the areas that was also easy that I was sharing was when you're looking for a workshop on, at least on the YouTube platform, go to this area right here under where you might search and click on filters. When you click on that filters button, the area that you're looking for is the third over that says duration, and you want it to be over 20 minutes. And that's because that's going to save you the hassle of just seeing a lot of workshops or information that's 5 or 10 minutes long. From there, you're able to simply scroll through and see if there is a particular disability, in this case, workshop that might make sense to you as it relates to the population that you're working with. It may not have anything to do with older adult services, but if there's something that is giving you some understanding about, disability services, then you may want to click on that. So if there is one that might be, this is on respite care, this is disability and community disability, we're understanding disability in your home. That one was 1 hour and 22 minutes. Another one that she did was when we were looking, we saw disability services, we were trying to understand, then we even started adding something like keywords like disability services application. And it began to show up. This is how you apply for certain.
Carla Stokesbury joined the meeting.
And it does not matter that you are doing a workshop. It doesn't need to be specific for your state, but it's something that would allow you to learn about disability services. So if you're looking through, oh, wow, I want to learn about this, then you're able to select it. The other option was if you weren't specific for disability services, but at the time we were looking for disability services in Kansas. If you want it to be something more, you can put it in. And then she was able to locate that there were a couple that were listed by the ADRC, or the Department of Aging and Disability Services. So that we noticed that they had quite a few that were different. This one had to do with demystifying hiring of persons with disability. It's still information about disability and services. This one was about applying for benefits. So what she decided to do was to look up a few that would either give her the combination of 45 minutes to an hour, or at least select two. So she actually ended up selecting one that was about They were two 30-minute ones that she thought, oh, I think I'm going to get some information about that particular. And I believe it was one that was about student disability services because her community has some younger adults. And then she did something about, I think it was a fair housing one because she wanted to understand disability services as it related to her community. So that's a creative way that you can find a workshop. The other, and it would be for any of the topics that we have listed that are on. For those that have worked with me, I have created a service coordinator log, but any of the ones that are listed in our resource guide. So in our resource guide, it makes very clear the different topics that we are to cover in our training. And I didn't want to give you the wrong information. That's going to be on page 16, 17, and 18. In our resource guide, it highlights it specifically what those areas are. So I would encourage you to look at something that you might be looking for, and then simply go into the YouTube area, the world, and you can be able to type in one. So again, you may type in workshop, and you may type in affordable housing. And then you may have even something that like fair housing. And it will give you, it doesn't again need to be something that is in your particular state, but it's going to at least show you that there's several, and remember, we've done the filter, and it's going to show you that there's several fair housing or workshops regarding affordable housing that are well over an hour. You want them to at least be 45 minutes to an hour so that you're able to get credit for them. But there's several that you can simply scroll through and make sure that you get the information. The way that you document this for HUD, so that HUD is aware that you've taken the courses, is you want to make sure that you have notes. You want to have notes that are indicating that you actually maintained and recorded something from these particular workshops. But what you also want to have is a creative way in which you have sent an email as if it's your registration. And your registration would be the example of, say, for instance,
Join the meeting.
Your property manager, or maybe you have a regional, or even if you had a QA, you would simply send an email that would say, I was your QA and you wanted me to know that you were registering for an archive course. You would send me an email that says, Queen, on Friday, December 3rd, I am going to take the affordable housing course that I saw archived on YouTube. It says that it is and I'm going to take it from 2 to 3 o'clock. You may send it to me and have copied your property manager. We know, or your regional. So now we know, or your ADO. So now we know you've quote unquote registered for that course. Then after the course is over on the 3rd at maybe 4:30 or so, you would see an addendum to the email that you sent. You would then do a reply all to both myself and either your QA or your ADO or your regional or your property manager. You would then send a second email with that first one at the bottom as a reply all, just letting you know I've completed taking the course on X, Y, and Z. So now you've created a registration paper trail, an archive course, if that makes sense for you. Now, a live course, you just simply register and you will get that registration online. But if it's an archive course, you've sent something to your QA, property manager, your leadership team, whoever you're working with, letting them know that you're going to take it on this day because we don't really register. And then on the same day, you would send us something at the conclusion that said it has now been completed. And that you have you're going to print that off because that will serve as your quote unquote registration. You will have your notes that you've taken from that course. And that information will then be stored in either your service coordinator binder under continuing education and or your service coordinator folder under continuing education or professional development. So now you've got a way to show that you actually have that information. A certificate of a certificate of attendance or certificate of participation is not going to be something that you receive. The resource guide says that if we were ever audited, we've got to prove to HUD that we actually participated or took the course. because you have your notes and you have a registration form registration that's attached, then that would suffice. HUD is not believing that service coordinators are making up reasons to train. So there is not this question of, do you have to prove it? And how would we know? And did somebody watch you take notes? That's not, we're service coordinators. We're operating with a place of excellence, and we're trusting that we're doing this correctly. And there's not something that we're going to be trying to get over. So let that not be something that you're worried about. Have that registration, the sending and the completion. Have it with your notes, have it filed away, and you would be fine. If you've noticed, some of the courses that we were listing, when we looked at some of them, were indicating that those workshops were over 2 hours. Regardless of the duration for a workshop, we get a maximum of a 2-hour credit for that particular topic. So if you say, for instance, you took a mental health course and that workshop or that training was 6 hours, your duration of recording it on your company's productivity list or your company's documenting software or your company's way of tracking your training, your duration would be 6 hours. But in regards to the CEs, the credits that are earned, the community, the continuing education hours earned, it would be a max of 2.
Join the meeting.
So it would just be 2 hours that you've earned, even though the duration was 6. Now, if you've taken, and that is because HUD wants to see that we have simply, as in all of these topics, that we've actually diversified our training and that we're not, again, if you remember, if you've been a service coordinator for less than a year, then there's the 36 hours of training. And then if you've been a service coordinator for greater than a year, it's 12. So you want to make sure that you show some diversity of it, that you've taken your statutory credit classes and you've taken a mixture of the additional, the required, as well as the additional recommended. You want to just make sure that you have that and it's going to be documented. If you have any questions, I'll definitely be able to answer those for you. Just give me a call and I can explain, or send me an email if I've gone over it and you didn't quite get it. One other thing that I like to tell you about the training, because of the global health crisis, we did have a little bit of leniency in the way that we were documenting, and obtaining the training that we needed. It is the expectation that by 2022, that we will be fully on board, that we will be able to say that we've received all of our training hours, we've completed them. So if you've come on board at the end of 19 or at 20, and now we're at the rolling on the end of 21, and you are a new service coordinator, the hope would be that you will have created, or obtained your 36 CEs. If you've not retained them then the idea is that you've got a plan that you're going to get your 12 by 22 and then any extra that might be missing. So if for 21, you've only got 12 and you know that you are a new service coordinator and needing to get 36, that means in 22, the expectation is you're going to get that balance in addition to 12 more to make sure that you're current. If for whatever reason, funding is not available, you're not able to find some course, it's probably going to be more funding, a little less on not being able to find it, because HUD knows that there's so many virtual opportunities there. Then you want to just make sure that it's documented, that you will then be having that carryover in 2023, that you've done maybe 20 in 2022, and you still may have 8 carryover. So in 2023, you're going to do an additional 20. Again, it is about us having a plan. If ever there was a desk audit, HUD is not auditing us and doing a desk audit because they're trying to catch us. HUD is doing a desk audit to ensure we're in compliance according to the resource guide. And a part of compliance is, what's your plan? So if you're not in compliance with something, you are aware that you're not in compliance and you have a plan to correct it. That is it. And not that you had I had no idea, because then that leads us to almost having an automatic finding. So I hope that's made sense to you. I was trying to answer the question that I received last week and then this morning about training. I've covered it a little bit going across it, but if you have anything specific about training means, please feel free to give me a call, or you can email me so that I can answer that for you. It's and my email is long, and I don't want to lose you, so I can't even. I don't think I can type it up because I don't want to lose you. But my email is Queen. It's queen@qualitywithoutcompromise.org. So queen@qualitywithoutcompromise.org, and it's all spelled out. Or you can more than welcome to give me a call at 404-867-8217. It is probably easier to send me the email unless you're okay with me responding in the evening if you call me. And let me know how late I can respond to you. I'll definitely send that to you. And then I'll even walk you through looking for the workshops. They're out there. You can find them. There are going to be some workshops that I will be actually offering in 2022. We're working on an arsenal of them now to be able to fill in the gaps, because we've noticed that there were quite a few interesting ones, but there was nothing out there. So we're going to be putting some of those together. I've even extended, and so for those of you that are listening, and oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. I appreciate you as well. But for those of you that are on the call today, if there's a workshop that you want to do, please let me know. If you feel like you have an expertise in something, if you believe that you have an expertise in disability services, or how do you network with the provider, or how do you get people interested in coming into your community, all of those are workshops that we can use. So we're sitting on our own level of expertise. I am believing that service coordinators can do this, that this is Toolbox Tuesday is for us, by us. So if there's a topic that, while I really wish I could do it, I'll do it with you. Don't feel like you've got to dance by yourself. We can pull it together. And if you're feeling like, I just really want to teach, or I just want to share, a workshop does not necessarily have to be direct like this. It can truly be sharing and a conversation, so we can be creative with it. Again, reach out, let me know how I can best support you. I am here for you. I am so excited for all of you that have been able to get me from you as well as from Zoom. This is a dream come true to be able to have the Service Coordinators Toolbox Tuesday and to be able to share it with you all. I am just beyond honored and humbled. I'll try to leave it there, because if not, you'll have waterworks of tears coming down. But it'll be next Tuesday at 2:00. Next Tuesday at 2, please come, please join, share with your friends. And just if anyone have a question, I'll quickly look in the chat. If not, I've been getting acclimates from YouTube, but if not, just thank you, everybody. Please reach out, and I look forward to continuing to be your service coordinator. I'm honored that you took time out your schedule today. Know that I love you, I appreciate you, and I thank the universe for you. Have an amazing holiday. If I don't get to see you before then, but if not, hopefully you'll come back next Tuesday and I'll get to see you all. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, everybody.
I lost my sound, and then I finally got it.
Oh, well, good. I hope you got something from it, Carla. I hope you got something.
Yeah, I did. I started on the phone because I couldn't get to the Zoom for some reason.
I understand.
I got it. So.
Oh, well, good. Well, if you have
you.
any questions regarding it, let me know, and
Okay.
I'll give it for you.
All righty, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Anne as well. I know that we were going to talk. So if you have any questions, I saw you taking notes, but if I can go slowly with you, I did with the other service coordinator last week, and we found about 8 different ones. I'm actually about to send out to some of the service coordinators as well a link to a geriatric conference that is in person and virtual at the beginning of the year that will allow you to fulfill your requirements for the training, and gives you an opportunity to even get something called a certified geriatric care manager class. So it's certificate. So if you're going to be taking these courses, I think take the courses that'll really help you continue yourself and your growth. So I'm actually going to be sending that out this afternoon to you all as well. So know that they'll be coming.
That sounds exciting.
Yes. So good to see your face. Yay.
Thanks.
Glad to see both of you. Well, thank you, ladies. I hope to see you again next Tuesday. And if not, then later on this week, okay?
All righty.
Are we
ladies?
Are we still on for 2?
Yeah, we're still on.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.